But here in the West, we have the defending national champion Kansas Jayhawks, the 1 seed, UCLA Bruins, the 2 seed, 3 seed Gonzaga, 4 seed UConn, and 5 seed St. Mary's. So Matt, looking at it here, what's your game to watch here in the first round?
That 4 seed UConn against that 13 seed Iona. Matthew doesn't fade Wick Pitino in March. I really like Iona in this spot. But that's just the game I got my eye on. I will be watching from start to finish. UConn, Iona. I don't know. Something about Iona and the gals, just something about dancing, and I want to be a part of it. So I think that's my favorite. I'll wait to say my pick on it, but I think that's my favorite matchup to look forward to for sure. How about you? What's your go-to game on the
That
big screen?
8-9 game between
Yeah,
the must-bust, the Arkansas Razorbacks led by Eric Musselman, and the Illinois Fighting Illini of Brad Underwood. And these are two teams, like both have potential, can be very good, but both can just like lay an egg.
Yes, a goose egg.
For me, that's why I'm hoping we get two really good teams and we just get a absolute dogfight of a game. I probably am leaning. Originally, I was on Illinois, but this Eric Musselman, he's been leading his teams in March. He saw Arkansas make the Elite Eight last year. I don't think they have a run like that in them again this year, but I think they can play some pretty good competitive basketball. Who's your upset pick for this region?
Oh, baby. Give me VCU over St. Mary's 10 times over. I don't know. Something about VCU. It's a little small hidden fact. Just a weird March Madness fact. Or just a weird college basketball fact. But VCU in history against St. Mary's is 4-0 against covering the spread. Love that statistic. However, I don't know. This looks just like a letdown spot for St. Mary's. They play in such a weak conference, in my opinion. I don't know. VCU was calling my name from the moment Selection Sunday that those two got matched up. The VCU players looked thrilled that they got matched up against St. Mary's. That tells enough of the story for me. Give me VCU by a country mile against St. Mary's. Please feed it to me. How about you? Where's your go-to upset?
Well, my buddy Ray and all the other A10 lovers in my fantasy football chat are going to love this one because I'm also on the Rams. They just play a gritty style, come March, make things difficult for teams. And, granted, I had this take last year and was very wrong. St. Mary's blew out Indiana, but the West Coast Conference plays their conference championship game on Tuesday, whereas the A10 played Sunday. So, bit of a rest versus rust, but especially if, St. Mary's, gets off to a slow start, I don't really know that it's a hole they can recover out of this VCU team. So that's why I like the Rams personally.
Let's go. Let's go, Woot. I'm so happy you're on that with me. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Let's move on. Sorry.
All right. Who's a team you like sleeper to make the second weekend? Of the underdogs in this region. That's not a top 4 seed.
I don't want to be biased. It's TCU here. Arizona State and Nevada are about to tip off, and they tipped off. And TCU should roll over one of those teams in my opinion. Yes, Nevada and Arizona State definitely had a case to be in the tournament, and that's why they're playing today. However, I think TCU beats them, and then I think they go against the Zags and win it. It's bold. It's not what my bracket's telling me to do, but it's something in my heart. Just when I see TCU there, I think they can make a run to that next weekend for sure. I don't know if they make it much further than that, but I could see them being a sneaky little run. Look at the program. We talked about it a week ago. That's a game-changing program over there across all sports. So they've shocked people this year in football, and I think they can do the same in basketball. So I like TCU at the 6th seed. How about you?
You might be talking me into that one. No, I agree. I think, this Gonzaga team hasn't been as good as it has been in past years, hence why they're a 3 seed, not the number 1 overall seed the past 2 years. TCU, they beat Kansas by 20 at Kansas. They definitely have the ability to pull off some big wins. But for me, I guess it'd probably be like a VCU or Iona. Say Iona somehow knocks off UConn.
Yeah.
Either that or maybe Arkansas. Because, I mean, this is another region I just went with chalk. I went with 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably not a good thing that I'm doing that in 2 of the 4 regions, considering how crazy college basketball has been this year. But
yeah, exactly.
honestly, for me, like I really just think Kansas, UConn, Gonzaga, and UCLA are just like very good programs. However, I don't know, maybe you're gonna talk me into TCU now, but I think those are because I mean this region has 5 of like the top 20 teams in Ken Pom or something like that. Like I saw, like
it does,
and Kansas was like the 4th ranked one out of them. So
yep,
kind of crazy.
Yeah, no.
Very
to touch on that, actually, I think if you look at 1 through 4 across all 4 regions, I would argue that they have the toughest region in terms of 1 through 4, from Kansas to UCLA to Gonzaga, as well as UConn playing Iona. So I think those 4 might be top heavy, like extremely top heavy, leaning them to kind of come out as like the favorites. However, it's March Madness, baby. Anything can happen.
No, I mean, I'd have to agree with that. And I was going to kind of get into that. All right, so we did, of the top 4 seeds, so we've kind of been talking about now, but who do you like? Honestly, just give me who's your Elite 8 prediction. What's your Elite 8 prediction?
Just
because we've both kind of discussed we like the top 4 seeds in this region.
Elite 8 prediction?
Yeah.
Give me Kansas against UCLA.
Okay.
Kansas, UCLA.
That's
you thinking the same?
Too.
Yeah. It's hard not to, but gosh, if UConn can beat Iona, I could see him beating VCU. I could see him beating Kansas. It's so tricky, man. UConn's such a tough program for me to get a read on this season. They've been so up and down, like in a sense, like momentum and then no momentum. Momentum, no momentum. Win streak, no win streak. So I don't know. They're a hard team for me to get a grasp on this year. So because I love Connecticut, but I don't know what they're going to do in Iona. That's a tough team. Rick Pitino, come on now.
Yeah.
But,
no, I mean, UConn was one of the last
know.
remaining undefeated teams, and now they're a 4 seed. So it just kind of shows you how things can evolve.
14-0. 14-0, right?
Yeah.
Start season?
So
that's insane.
All right. So let's go game by game, and then we'll get into our predictions.
All right. Kansas versus Dwight Howard. Give me Kansas. I'll take a school over one guy any day of the week. Illinois and Arkansas. It's like you said, this is your must watch. This is a tough one. Illinois has got the 3-point shooting. However, Arkansas's got the guards. What wins you games in March, in Matthew's opinion over here, is guard play. I lean Arkansas. Give me the upset of the century in VCU over St. Mary's. I've gone back. This is the one game which a lot of people are like, why are you spending so much time on a 4-13 game? But I've been wishy-washy, flip-flop all week long. Give me UConn over Iona, but gosh, I don't want to bet on UConn. I think I'll bet the spread on Iona to keep it close, but geez, that's going to be a tough one. But give me UConn. Then we go TCU, Zags, Northwestern, UCLA.
All right, so this is another one pretty similar. I'm going Kansas. This bracket I originally made, I wrote down Illinois, but I'm leaning Arkansas now. I'm going to go with the Razorbacks. I like VCU.
Let's go.
That's definitely the 5-12 I'm most confident in. I'm going to go TCU. Oh, UConn. I'm going to go UConn. I agree with you. It's going to be a good game. I mean, Rick Pitino versus Dan Hurley. We're hopefully going to get this matchup twice next year. I got to think Pitino's going to take one of these Big East jobs. I think that should be a really good game, but I'm going to go UConn. I like TCU. I think TCU should win pretty easily, to be honest. Like,
I do.
These teams
it doesn't. I don't think whoever they play. Yeah, I don't think who they play can stop them. But
Grand Canyon's not beating Gonzaga, and then I agree. I like Boo Buoy and Northwestern. As much as the Big Ten's fraudulent, the Mountain West even more in the tournament. They were like knocked out in 10 hours last year. They didn't win a single game.
Yeah, you saw that. You remember that stat that I saw? I remember that. That was crazy.
And then, see, This was one I was disappointed. Like, if there was gonna be a 15 seed I'd like to win, it was gonna be UNC Asheville, but they're not beating UCLA.
I wanted to ask you that. I wanted to ask you that real quick. Let's butt in real quick.
Okay.
I want to butt in. Two against 15. Who's your favorite upset? 2 against 15 across the board. Is it that UCLA UNC Asheville, like you said?
No, I'm gonna go Arizona Princeton just because that's been the most popular one I've been seeing.
Wow. Yeah, that's fair. Dude, Princeton kids study books. They don't study buckets. Come on now. Like, they're hitting the books. They're hitting the library.
They be doing both, though. They be doing both. You gotta give
They
more
do
credit
be
than that.
doing both.
I'm gonna say the one that's definitely not gonna happen. Watch, this will probably age horribly, and I'll jinx Marquette. Marquette is definitely
Marquette?
beating
Yes,
Vermont. That's the one I never even considered. I mean, like I said, I think.
Line? Did you see that line?
What?
For the game, Marquette and Vermont. Did you see the
What is
spread?
it?
I think it's like minus 22.5. I'm like, oh.
See, this is why I just make the brackets. I don't even bother betting on most of these games because it's there's no
dude.
value in half these lines, and I'm just
I'm not taking a college basketball team to win by 23, bro. I don't care if they're the best
that's what
team
I'm
in the
saying
world.
though. But then I'll be pissed when they win by
Because-
30.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you'll bet Vermont plus 23, and they'll blow them out by 40.
Exactly. Plus, I'm gonna have all 4 games on all day tomorrow and Friday, so maybe I'll probably end up throwing something on some of them, but most of them I'm probably just gonna watch. All right. Final. Who do you think makes it out of this region?
Give me UCLA. UCLA Bruins. Come on. Oh my God! I like that we're on the same side.
No, I
Hey,
don't. I don't.
I like
Because
it.
now we're both gonna be wrong. And I mean, I was pretty back and forth between Kansas and UCLA, but like I said, just mentioning how tough that road's gonna be for Kansas. Potentially, Arkansas can give them a good game. UConn can give them a really good game. So then, by the time they get to UCLA, I mean, they're gonna probably play 2 or 3 pretty tough contests. Whereas UCLA, I mean, they should wipe the floor with whoever they play in the second round. And I do think they're the better team than Gonzaga. So I think just because of that, and just because Kansas hasn't been playing as well recently, losing 2 games to Texas,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Bruins.